Okay, and back into it. Barbarossa to Berlin. It's June 22nd, 1941, the first day of Operation Barbarossa. And I am losing this battle badly. Most of the knocked out tanks on the field are mine, though some of them are German. I suffered my worst losses when trying to contest the whole battlefield, now that I've kind of fallen back to a reverse slope defense, or counter slope defense. I'm starting to pick off a few more German tanks as they come up over this ridge here. Though I took such heavy losses early on, and those losses contained some of my best tanks. So now I am pretty much expecting to lose, though. Looks like the enemy is dealing with a traffic jam back here on account of having a lot of tanks. Like, holy crap, that is a lot of tanks. And a lot of, by 1941 standards, pretty darn good tanks. Panzer IIIGs and Panzer IVs. Yeah, these are pretty much the best tanks that the Germans have. Okay, so I have... my infantry are now no longer hiding, so they are about to start opening fire on the enemy infantry over there. You know, I kind of wish I had moved these infantry. I think are needed over on the left. But now that the enemy is coming up over the hill in force, who knows if I'm going to be able to get them over to the left. I think I'm going to be overrun here soon. But let's... no sense in putting that off. Ow. Oh, I guess the first thing I want to see is... okay. It's good, okay. Basically let these guys get right on top of me before opening up. Fortunately, we've got a couple of submachine guns, which would have given us the edge in that close-range engagement. Oh, excellent. Still have quite a lot of 45mm guns that can punish that Panzer II for exposing its side armor. Yeah, of course, since the enemy has so many tanks, that means their ability to support their infantry on this push on my left is a lot greater than... So I need to pull these infantry back a little bit further, to where their tanks can't help their infantry. So also get my infantry onto the reverse slope. And okay. What else happened over there? So I had one of my T-26s getting knocked out by Panzer II. That Panzer II.
Держать позицию.
Okay, I'm going to attempt to withdraw my infantry. Yeah, to about here. And then just let the enemy keep on coming up over the hill, and hopefully we'll continue raking in some more kills. Let's get that T-26 back into that tree line there. And otherwise, I don't think there's a whole lot more I can do as far as giving orders. We'll just play this battle out. Yikes. Okay, so they all seem to be panicking immediately. Yeah. Did my withdrawal orders make them panic, or were they already panicking? No, they couldn't have already been panicking, or I couldn't have given them any withdrawal orders. Getting some penetrations there. Not actually managing to destroy the tank, though. Penetration there. That is a big mass of them. So, hang on. Force them to abandon that Panzer II. That one wasn't knocked out this turn. This is the one we were shooting at this turn. Yeah, we're definitely killing a lot more German tanks now that we're in this reverse slope position than we were. Okay. Bugger. Yeah, come on. Yeah, but even in this reverse slope position here, the enemy is still grinding down my defense. If I had started the battle in this reverse slope position, but you know, if I had planned to fight like this from the start, back when I was at full strength, this might have been a winning strategy. Well, no, probably not, because that still would have timed out before I could actually gain control of the map. So I probably couldn't have won like that anyway. Can you etch? Okay, so you can see across much of that slope. Just need the enemy to come a little bit further forward. Dang it. That Panzer III is in perfect hold down. Ooh. When that mass of tanks finally untangles itself and gets over here, we're pretty much done. Just knocked out another Panzer II. Yeah. The enemy may win this, but we're making this we're making it a painful victory for them. Did you just shoot at it? Excellent. position from which you can hopefully do some kind of good. Battle really might time out before that mass of tanks can untangle itself. Oh, that was aimed at that T-26 there. Ah, and I guess it did do some good, or some, harm, from my point of view, as it killed the commander. Go. Okay. And we're just going to go ahead and continue progressing on to the next turn. I think we're just going to click through the turns here and hope that I can do a bit more damage before the battle ends. There's a serious traffic jam they've got there. Yikes. Okay. That's not going great. Yeah, Panzer III is pretty hard for T-26 to kill. Of course, that Panzer III is hiding right behind the knocked out hiding right behind a knocked out Panzer III, so my sole surviving T-34 can't hit it. A T-34, of course, would have no trouble at all taking it out. Okay, second to last turn. This will actually be a relatively short video. Okay, we're getting hits, but no damage. I know my T-26s can kill Panzer IIIs. They've managed it before. Just need a little bit of luck. they're shooting at my infantry over there. I should give them hide orders. Shooting at it from 3 directions. Oh. You achieved the front turret penetration.
Заряжай!
Наводчик, стреляй!
Цель не поражена! Давай еще разок! Ах ты, черт! Ложись, ложись! Цель не поражена! Огонь!
Yikes. Okay, this is gonna be the last turn. Which means, at the very least, the enemy is not going to succeed in reaching their exit zone. So we've accomplished that much, at least. We have slowed the German push. Yep, and we've immobilized that tank. Which maybe isn't the best thing in the world, since we've kind of immobilized it in a position where we can't do a whole lot to it. Gonna get us one last kill. Ag. Okay. Well, that's not great. Lost our last T-34 in the last turn of the mission. Nope, hang on. Are we gonna get one last minute kill here of our own? We got a penetration. Which vehicle was penetrated? The Panzer II or the Panzer III? In any case, it doesn't look like it got knocked out before the battle ended. Before the end of the turn. Side turret penetration. That was one of my T-26s. Perhaps he would have gotten the kill if the battle had lasted a little bit longer. Okay. I lost 25 tanks and took 15 of their tanks with me. 57 casualties. They suffered 44 casualties. So, actually not terrible. Maybe terrible in the context of I was fighting against the AI. But in the context of, first day of Operation Barbarossa, the Soviets generally did a terrible job on that day, I didn't really do any worse than typical. Plus, I was up against just about the best equipped German tank unit imaginable at this point in time. Yeah, I don't think any of their Panzer IVs actually got close enough to really get stuck in. They certainly had a few... quite a few Panzer IVs. They did inflict... They've definitely inflicted some significant losses among their Panzer IIs. That one's morale is broken. It's like they took a crew casualty when they got penetrated. Actually got 3 of them knocked out in one spot. But no covering up that this was a defeat. Hang on, what was the actual result that we're credited with? Oh, a draw. I guess I don't quite know how the points were divvied up. Both sides were supposed to exit troops, and neither side managed that. But I think if we're being honest here, the Germans had the upper hand here, and given more than 30 minutes, like, they will definitely eventually push through here. These infantry with no real means to fight the enemy tanks, and without really being able to move fast enough to retreat, will almost certainly be captured. I think overall my T-26s made a better account of themselves probably in this battle than they did in the last battle. My T-34s made a worse account of themselves in this battle than in the last one. Yeah, I got my T-34s utterly wiped out, because I assumed they would be as nigh invulnerable in this battle as they were in the last one, so I could kind of charge them forward. But it turns out the key to their near invulnerability in the last battle was that the Germans were overwhelmingly armed with 37mm guns rather than 50mm guns. The 50mm guns on these Panzer IIIs have a much easier time knocking out T-34s. still generally takes a few hits to do the job, but it's a lot easier for them to do it than for 37mm guns to do the job. Here's the Panzer IVs also have some armor-piercing capability. Oh. Panzer IIIs can, of course, punch through a fair bit more armor, because they actually have a gun that is meant to punch through armor. Anyway, I think that is enough admiring the aftermath. And yeah, I think I'm kind of been alternating between Afrika Korps and Barbarossa Berlin with the CM1 scenarios. As of time of recording, I haven't gotten around to finishing up any more CM2 videos. Hopefully by the time this is actually posted, I will have finished up some more CM2 videos, beyond the dozen that have already been finished as of a few weeks ago. And yeah.